G'day and welcome to my channel, Traces of Nuts. Today it's Traces of Places. I just bought some uh, mixing bowls and bakeware and stuff in a really lovely shade of pink um, for absolutely fuck all for what they are. And I'm at Primrose Sands, which is the beach next to, well, not the next beach along, but the next sort of main beach past my place. So I thought we'll just go for a bit of an explore around Primrose Sands, and then I'm heading back to Dodgers Ferry. I'm going to drop some food into Scotty. But I was listening to Makeup Mobster and the sad news that Kim Lowry had passed away, possibly around the same time as my beautiful friend Birdie did. Hey, Francesca, do you want to go for a little explore in Primrose Sands, Tasmania? It's the next beach along from where I am, or the next main beach. But I thought this was quite a nice outlook from up here. I don't know Primrose very well. There's a gorgeous beach. Well, this is the beach. Hang on, I'll just turn it around. You can probably see to the left. The beach, apparently there's a boat ramp somewhere along here. I'm in the suburbs of Primrose Sands. And I just went and picked up these little set of pink bakeware that look a lot smaller than what I thought they were, but that's okay. I've got a shelf in my kitchen that I wanted to just have the same coloured everything on it. Hey, Mercedes girl, yeah, sad news about Kim. Hey, she was, OG, I guess, in terms of, well, for you and I, Mercedes girl, this is not where the boat ramp is. Bit of clearing going on up here. We're in Primrose Sands, guys, so I don't know where I'm going. We're just going on a little road trip. Hey, Serenity Bee, thank you for your gifts. I saw a message, but I haven't responded to you because I just drove down here and picked up this bakeware, and I thought I'd go live because I was just driving down, listening to Makeup Mobster talking about Kim Lowry dying, and I was like, fuck. All these women that have died that are just way, way, way too young. But I'm having a lovely day, Serenity Bee. Well, a very quiet day, but not that quiet. I had my friend Roger dropped a huge bag of peaches around the other day, so I've stewed a heap of peaches. Like 4 cups worth of peaches that I can, I'll eat for the next week, put them in smoothies, and I might treat myself to a dessert. I'll take some to work, and if there's any left over, you can freeze them as well. But I've still got like another 10 peaches or 12 peaches after this lot that aren't super ripe yet. I'll probably bake a tart or something with them later in the week. I'm trying to see if there's a cool way to get down to the beach to give you a nice view of it. There's not much happening there. I guess you can check out. It's new scenery at least because we're in the coastal town of Primrose Sands. Oh no, that's a track to the beach. It's a bit different to the beach where I live. It's not a surf beach. It's more a family beach, I suppose. And down here doesn't have the same sort of infrastructure as where I live. Let's just cling to the oh no, through road, bugger. Let's do a little Yui. My former brother-in-law and his new wife built a house down here somewhere, but I don't quite know where. But it sounded rather flashy. How about you, Serenity B? Are you having a good day? Back to work tomorrow? I'm back at work on Tuesday. On this side, there's some sort of lagoon or, yeah, probably call this a lagoon on the left. Um, so yeah, I don't go back. I work Tuesdays and Wednesdays, so I'm pretty excited about the days that I'm working. No news yet what day Birdie's funeral's going to be, though, but I'm hoping it'll be later in the week, so I can, do my Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we can have a send off a bit later in the week. Cause quite a few of her friends will be working, and I'm thinking it'll be Friday or Saturday probably. It's a beautiful day today. So I went for a really lovely walk on the beach this morning, and then I had to do some grocery shopping and went and grabbed a heap of food to drop into Scotty. But I've been texting him and I haven't heard from him, and I sort of want to give him his space. But I also, he's probably sleeping, to be honest. He hasn't really had more than probably 6 hours sleep in the last week or two. So I might just drop it down on his doorstep and just send him a little text message and say, there's a bag of food on your doorstep, Groover, go grab it. And I kind of got him blokey food. I got a barbecue chicken, some bread, so he can make some sandwiches. I got him a bag of salad mix that has a dressing as well, so he can just make a really quick, easy salad. I don't think we're going to be able to see the beach along here because it's over the dunes. Let's keep exploring. Got him a bag of chips, some chocolate, some bananas, a couple of meat pies, and some treats for his kitten. So yeah, I'll drop them down and just leave him a little message saying, emerge from your cave because there's food out on your doorstep. Or I could just take it home and pop it down to him tomorrow. I'm going into town early tomorrow because my nephew James is in year 12 and it's his school leaders assembly where they all get inducted, and he's kind of like one of those students that everybody loves. So he's like house captain and something else. And because his mum and dad are now in Singapore and his younger sister and his older brother is in Melbourne, hey, a boat ramp. All right. This should get us pretty close to the beach. I've offered to go to the assembly so that he's got family there. There you go, guys. Primrose Sands. I'm biased. I think where I live is prettier, but it's pretty, hey? Go as wide as I can. I mean, you've got a huge expanse of water out there and then the beach just down there. It's very gorgeous. It's, yeah, pretty much not the second beach. No, it's the second main beach past where I live. But they don't have any infrastructure down here. Like, they've literally got this service station, which looks like they sell hot food here as well. But that's kind of all they've got. So you have to, you really have to buy everything you need when you come home to Primrose. I mean, you could just pop down to that shop and it looks like it's, it's a general store that's an Australia Post outlet. I like having a few more shops and things nearby. And it's a bit of a hike. I mean, they're kind of another 15 minutes in one direction to Dunalley, which has got basic sort of services. But to get to like Sorel, where I go, it's probably close to half an hour from here, whereas it's only like 10 minutes from my place. But yeah, RIP Kim Larry, she was one of the people that when I first discovered the world of YouTube, we're all sort of newbies and hanging out together. And I mean, Kim and I didn't have a friendship offline or anything like that. I'm sad to hear that she's gone, and I'm sad to hear that, you know, how devastated her friends are. I'm also sad, though, to hear that even with the death of somebody, there's still fighting going on YouTube. It's so messed up. Respect Kim, you know, like if you have opinions about, oh, that person should be upset they weren't her friend, keep it to yourself. Especially, I mean, when you're wrong is even worse, but also to even be speaking about shit like that when the news that someone has just died has literally just broken. Let her rest in peace, you know. Do you think Kim wants more YouTube fighting going on about who is or who are her true friends? Like, fuck me dead, YouTube. It's like we've got the grief Olympics going on now. If someone touches your life and you love them and you're heartbroken to hear that they've died, that's enough. There's no grief Olympics. There's no gold medal for who deserves to grieve the most. And as much as it sucks, I've lost so many friends that the way I react now, I mean, each person affects me very differently, and I'm always heartbroken. But my reactions are not as extreme as they were when I first started losing friends. You know, someone that may not have known her better than other people on YouTube, it might be the first person they were close to that they've lost. But the fact that, yeah, that whole YouTube community is just showing itself. Oh, there's a little kid on the side of the road. I usually make sure that they're not crossing. It was going in the other direction. It was going away from the road. But I would absolutely die. And I would die literally, but I would be so heartbroken if I ran over a kid. I love them. They're great little critters. So we're leaving Primrose Sands now. It's quite a nice sort of body of water to my left and a little cove. But we're all pretty good down here. If there's a kid that's crossing the road, like everyone slows down and lets them cross. It's pretty cute. Kylie, hello. Hey, Kaz. We've just left Primrose Sands. The local buy and seller girl put some pink bakeware up, and it's a really good brand, but dirt cheap. And I was like, I might grab that because I kind of want a shelf of uniform colours. My kitchen's, I like that I've got a little bit of randomness going on, but this stuff's really nice cookware. It's all Le Creuset stuff. And yeah, she sold it to me for fuck all, but I had a quick look in the bag and most of the pieces are a lot smaller than I was expecting. So they may actually not be right for this shelf. I was hoping they'd be a bit bigger and a bit chunkier. Now I know why they weren't, you know, why it wasn't as expensive as I thought it was going to be. But so I just did that, and then we're heading back to Dodgers Ferry now. See if my friend Scotty is away because I've just got a little food care package to drop into him. I'm still happy I've got this stuff and I'll use it, but it's not as big as I was hoping. It'll look nice when I'm doing stuff on my, when I'm doing some cooking, to have all this sort of pink stuff, pale pink. But um, yeah, so this is actually Carlton River that we're approaching. So gorgeous through here, though. The paddocks with the bales of hay. I love those bales of hay. These big rolled bales. You could paint them. I know, Kylie, isn't it fucked? It's just fucked. I mean, I still like to know what's going on because there are people. Because I've been in part of, I've been in quite a few different communities on YouTube for over 2 years now, and I still like to know what's happening. And yeah, I mean, Kim was one of those people that, when I first found YouTube, she was very prolific in the channels that I was a part of. And yeah, I mean, I didn't have a friendship that went offline, and I'm very sad to hear that she's died. But I also, with anyone who, like, even with being there, and even beautiful Birdie, you don't. So this is Carlton River ahead, this winding river that we can see. You don't want people to suffer. And Kim really went through hell with her disease and was, in hospital a lot and was essentially living with a condition that was just slowly going to kill her. So there's a sense of relief that it's over for her, but it was just, yeah, put makeup lobster on when I was driving down to Primrose because she was chatting about it, and then I noticed that it sounded like the death Olympics is going on, and who was a better friend and who's allowed to grieve and who's not. And it's like, respect the dead, like celebrate Kim's life, celebrate your memories, tell your happy stories or sad stories. Make it about Kim. Don't make it about, the same grudges, just a different storyline. Cute combi there. Like that combi. It's disappointing because a lot of YouTube creators in the past, even me, myself, have said, what does it take for them to just become decent people? Hey, Tweety, we just went to Primrose Sands River. Another stunning day in Taswegia. Look at the sky. But yeah, I mean, I actually sort of said, and a lot of creators have, look at this here, I'm pulling over, because this could be a painting. There's like geese, and God, I wish I could zoom on this. I'm going to look into getting a cover for my phone that has like a zoom lens. But I'll take this off so you can see. There's like a shitload of geese. And then these beautiful bales of hay with the river. Don't you think that'd be a great painting? This looks like a head-on collision about. What the fuck? It's not a very nice thing to say. Easy money. Jesus. Do they fly south for the winter? The geese? Nah, they stay in Tassie. The feeding is good here. They know they're on a good wicket. Yeah, having a very close friend only died yesterday. Maybe we'll leave the head-on collision comments for another day, if that's all right. But thank you for your cheery optimism. Easy money. So yeah, once again, YouTube lets us down. I still believe there's a whole world of goodness to explore out there. Like the Thai lady who taught me 4 different ways to cut up a pineapple the other day. She was cool. So I'm actually going to take you guys back to Dodgers, but through like the country way, not the coastal way. And I gotcha. Because I'm driving on the opposite side of the road. Right. Yeah, you would adapt because when you're in a car with the driver's seat, the side that it's on, it feels natural to be on this side of the road. It is a bit dry, Kylie, although this is a very dry part of the state. We've had an extraordinary amount of rain in the last sort of 6 weeks for down here. So it's actually a lot greener than it was last summer. But yeah, it's typical. I don't think people realise that Tassie's in drought too. Like, our Midlands are a nightmare. So many farms have had to be sold and closed because we're in drought too. But this part of the state where I live, we don't get a lot of rain. I think people think Tassie's wet and damp. And I mean, look, we've got some temperate rainforests, so in places it's a bit wet and damp, but it's actually a very dry climate. And I think up until a couple of summers ago, Hobart was the second driest capital city in Australia after Adelaide. But I've got a feeling Perth is now the second and Hobart's the third. It's probably because we're so close to Melbourne, and Melbourne is wet and damp. Such an overrated city. I used to love Melbourne, but the coldest I've ever been in Australia was in Melbourne. Like chilled to the bone. And some of the tall buildings in the city, like the sun never touches the footpaths, they're always wet and damp. But yeah, some of these green paddocks and stuff, greenish. Last summer they would have just been yellow. It looks ridiculously green to us. Yeah, true. It's different from the beach, isn't it? I mean, that's why I thought I'd show you the countryside, because this is actually a coastal / rural area that I live in. Oops. Oh no. There's a dead possum on the side of the road. Yeah, we do have wildlife signs. We've got ones for Tassie devils down where I am. Tassie devils, wallabies, and echidnas primarily. But yeah, especially mainland Australia, when you hit the big, roads out into the country and out into the bush, there's a lot of kangaroo signs. But here we've got the little wallaby signs down where I live. There's wombat signs as well. And although it's not law, like you can't get busted for speeding. Well, there's a little stall, little plants for sale. I just used all my parking meter coins to buy the bakeware, but otherwise I'd stop because I do love me a little roadside stall. But we're pretty much back in Dodgers now, Groovers. Wallaby crossing. I love wallabies. The little baby kangaroos are cute as fuck. Um, but yeah, so this is really just a little quick live while I drove home. And just how disappointed I am that once again there's just that element of YouTube that can't even just show some respect when someone who is a pretty prolific member of the true crime community has passed away, and people are still finding ways to argue and turn it into something ugly. And shame on you. Like, the thing that really pisses me off is that it's probably people that didn't even know Kim offline, and they're criticising and having a go at her actual friends. And I think it's really fucked up. And if, I used to think someone's going to have to die for people to start being decent on YouTube, and it's obvious that even with a death they can't be. I mean, there was so much shit that happened after being there died as well, and it's fucking disgusting. And God, hope none of you lose somebody and genuinely need support and friendship, and other people turn your loved one's death into a fucking circus. Or maybe that's what it will take. Maybe it's got to be super personal. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take, but I think that community, and not just that community, the drama community. I like taking you groovers for drives, Kylie. It's fun. I mean, I love driving, but it's more fun to have someone come with me for the drive. Just having a little look at the Dodge Vegas boat ramp, and I'm sort of sneakily checking out whether there's any life at, I shouldn't say life after Bertie died, but if there's much action happening. Hey, Anne-Marie, how are you, gorgeous? Look at that. Lovely little view from the Dodgers boat ramp. Yeah, I'm rather, without doxing my beautiful friend, I sneakily had an opportunity to see if there's any signs of any action happening at his house, because I don't want to disturb him, but I also have you're doing better. I'm happy to hear that, gorgeous. I don't want to be a pain in the bum, but I also don't want him to not have any food. So I'm trying to be the good friend. And yeah, not disturb him, but at least I know he'll have food in his fridge. You were sick the other day. I'm glad you're feeling better. But yeah, as for those YouTube communities, like, I kind of, so I've got the right of way apparently. I am removing myself from them largely. I don't see any real point in having them, being part of them, but there's still people like Kim who I met on YouTube and got to know a little bit because we're in the same sort of community, same channels. And it's very sad to see that she died. But, maybe she and Bertie will find each other. They'd be a good pair, actually. But, yeah, it's a lot of death. Dennis is being so bad today. Yeah, Biscuit was being a bit needy when I was bloody stewing peaches, and she was carrying on like I was chopping up chicken or something. So I put a piece of peach on the ground, and she just looked at it like, as if I'm going to eat that. And it's like, well, gee, you made a lot of noise about that. So I got an egg to shut her up. Now we're back at my beach. So, Casper, we've been to Primrose Sands, which is the beach the next sort of main beach down the coast from here. So it's kind of past that bluff on the left. Some nice waves down here. I'll just catch up with everyone before I sign off. I think I'm going to drop things into Scotty. It'll be just a drop and go. Just, I noticed his car's home, so but yeah, I really just wanted to have a little chat and some company while I drove home from Primrose Sands. And just to once again offload something that I won't, process for the rest of the day, but just how disappointing it is that that community has lost someone who was a part of that community, and a lot of people in the community had offline friendships with her, and yet typical that part of YouTube. I'm not going to say all YouTube because I do know there's a lot of good to be found on YouTube, but how disappointing and how disgusting it is that people are even making somebody's death an opportunity to be pricks. And they did it with being there as well. And I just think, I used to be an optimist and think that some of them were not beyond help or hope, but I really think now that once again, you dip your toes back in, because I wanted to listen to what happened with Kim and, listen to her friends talking about her passing away. There's times that there'll be things like that I will want to know, because they are people that have been in my world for a long time as well. Hey, Morgan. Oh, shit. He's been very bad, Dennis. Thanks, Easy Money. Sorry, I misunderstood when you first made that comment about the head-on. It was a bit much with a beautiful friend of mine dying only yesterday. I was like, don't jinx my drive, dude. So Anne-Marie and Kylie's cats are both in disgrace. Biscuit's not in disgrace. She's an opportunist. Like, if I'm in the kitchen, she's like, well, there's a chance I'm going to get some food. And she carried on like a pork chop. I gave her a little bit of peach, and the look on her face was like, how dare you give me that, whatever that is. But it's beautiful down here today, and I had a gorgeous walk here this morning, chattering away to Birdie as I do. And yeah, we'll be farewelling her a bit later in the week. But I can tell you right now that my friends and I, when we're at her funeral, won't be playing the grief Olympics and talking about who is allowed to be grieving and who's not, and who should be grieving more. Like, fuck off. Some of the people on YouTube, you really are beyond help. And I'm glad you found this little community that you feel you can roam around in and you can feel big and important, but you really need to have a break from it and rethink what you're doing and do a bit of bloody, inward thinking and find some self-awareness. Just to be so toxic and vicious about everything, even when somebody's died, you can't just lay down your swords for a day and be decent human beings. It's, yeah. Amen, Casper. Hey, Gone Girl. Being there was a really lovely human being, but she was also a massive shit stirrer, and she had a lot of fun doing it. And yeah, she was misunderstood, and she was muddled towards the end. She was on some pretty full-on drugs, as was Kim Lowry, and sometimes people were just, overtly mean without factoring in the reality of their lives. But again, they're the people that need to just do some self-reflecting and become self-aware and just learn how to find the decent fucking cell in your body and start spreading it around YouTube. Spread some love. Like, to turn Kim Lowry's death into another opportunity to be an asshole about someone you don't like on YouTube, that is fucked up. And do you think that's what Kim's dying wish was? Do you think she wanted her death to spark more hatred? I doubt it. It's just, I'm going to be vocal about what I watch on YouTube. I mean, I don't watch nearly as many channels. I don't really watch them, but listen to them. I very rarely participate in chats anymore. And I very rarely listen for more than 10 or 15 minutes because I just go, oh, great, they're still being assholes. But yeah, look at the Christmas list debacle. That was an almighty horror story. And people are still going live and carrying on about that shit. Then you've got all the constant fighting about these charitable donations. I mean, could you be more uncharitable than just to be bitching endlessly? I mean, I've got my opinions on what I think creators should and shouldn't be transparent about, but I didn't donate to that channel. It's not something that I have a personal connection with. But they're all carrying on about that. And then now we've got a member of one community who's died. And instead of everyone just laying down their swords and giving each other a massive group virtual hug, they're like, oh, well, that person shouldn't be crying because she wasn't her friend. You don't know what the fuck goes on offline. You don't know who people are talking to offline, who are genuine friends. Like, fuck, man. This could be the angry part of my grieving for Birdie. Parts of it are gone, girl. There are good parts too, gorgeous. Like my channel. And Anne-Marie's channel is really sweet. You couldn't get a sweeter channel than Anne-Marie's, to be honest. If you haven't subbed to her, you should. She's so cute and sweet and just does the sweetest things. But yeah, maybe I'm in the angry stage of grief with Birdie, but I couldn't believe my ears. And then I got to Primrose. I was like, yeah, I'm not listening to that on the drive home. I'm just going to turn that around. We don't need to see a naked child on my life. That would not be good. Please don't walk in front of my car. She nearly walked in front of my car. Oh, my God. You're fabulous too, Anne-Marie. But yeah, so my message to those people is, even if you just encountered Kim Lowry in your travels in a chat and you had that little moment with her, you're allowed to be missing her. Blow her a kiss and don't worry about what the pricks on YouTube are saying, that you're not entitled to grieve or you're not entitled to be grieving as much as somebody else. Everyone has their own experiences with people. You can meet someone and have a 5-minute conversation with them that can change your life, and you'll never forget that person, and that person will always be a huge part of your life and who you are because you knew them. And if you learned of their death and you were more upset than when your father died, that is fine. It's not for anyone else to dictate to somebody how they should grieve. And the fact that people are using somebody's death, like they did with Being There, as a weapon in their ongoing battle of bullshit is fucked up. Tiger Kitty, you've got the best name ever. Hello. Tiger Kitty does whatever a Tiger Kitty does. Hey, Jojo. Is this a Mel Mel? Was Mel Mel live? Kim was nice to everyone. Heimdall Scooter was Mel Mel live? And is Mel Mel India? Hi, Mel and me, Raid. Were you live, honey bunny? I was wondering why my numbers just went up so much, so quickly. A me, Raid. Oh, fuck it, you were live and I didn't know. We come from Mel Mel's. I had no idea. I don't think you were live when I went live from Primrose. I've been live for 40 minutes. Damn it, Mil. I thought we had an agreement you were going to message me when you went live next. I've kind of offloaded a bit. I don't know if it's because of I'm in the angry part of my grieving process with Birdie, but was pretty disgusted that people in that shitty YouTube community I once frolicked in have even turned Kim Lowry's death into an opportunity to continue slinging mud at each other like they did with being there. So I've just been offloading. That's all right, gorgeous. Um, yeah, so I've just had a bit of a vent about how I used to think it would take somebody's death for the people of YouTube. No, not all people. There's some fabulous people on YouTube, but the people of some of the communities on YouTube might actually stop being assholes at least for a day. But nope, no. Now they've got the grieving Olympics going on, and who's allowed to grieve and who's not, according to them, and it's fucked up. Oh, woman Birdie's a beautiful friend of mine who died yesterday. She was a beautiful girlfriend of mine who was given a pretty shitty prognosis of 2 to 6 months to live only 2 weeks ago. And 2 weeks ago, we had lunch together, and yesterday she left. The guy just here, he's having a ciggy. Thanks, old woman. Yeah, total asshole. Yeah, exactly, Melmo, and it's disgusting. And we've seen it happen with beautiful being there. And I'm listening to people who genuinely loved Kim Lowry feeling very much the same way I do about Birdie dying. And they have to deal with people who probably had nothing to do with Kim Lowry other than seeing her on YouTube declaring who can and can't grieve for her. And it's just fucking horrible. And they're beyond, that community is beyond hope and help, you know. I once thought that um you're in the dog bed, Tiger Kitty? What are you doing in the dog bed? But yeah, I used to think that maybe somebody dying would make everybody just shut the fuck up and chill the fuck out. But no, they didn't with being there, and they're not with Kim. And it's, do you think being there and Kim would be over the moon about all this shit still happening on YouTube even after they've died? Like, it's just fucked up. Me too, old woman. I had some beautiful moments. Like, it was just, I mean, it's horrible that she's gone, but December, January is such a busy time with Christmas and then New Year's. I was with Birdie, and then I had my birthday, so we had time together then. And I was popping down to see her a lot and Scotty because I was cooking a lot of food for them. And then yeah, we had a gorgeous lunch, and literally the next day she just went downhill, and it was very quick. We didn't get the worst case scenario of 2 months with her. We got 2 weeks, which is fucked. No, they won't, Gone Girl. They will never shut the fuck up. I'm glad it's a nice bed, Tiger Kitty. Maybe you should stay in it. Oh, my chat's frozen. So have I, by the looks of it. Man, I'm back. Chat's not. They are complete assholes. And what are they getting out of it, you know? I mean, they're hideous people. But you can't even, there's no justification for it, you know. Um there's no good comes of it. So why exactly, old woman? And I've lost a lot of friends, as many of you know. I feel like doing a video just putting all the names of the people I've lost since I discovered the world of YouTube. You'd be astounded how many close and mainly female my age friends I've lost in the last 2.5 years. It's insane. Although I did lose a really beautiful friend of mine, Scott, as well. But it's been quite, I was told once you get to 50, suddenly all your friends' parents start dying. Well, both of my parents were already dead, but also you start losing your own friends a lot more. I mean, I've had a lot of death throughout my life, but um, yeah, where was I going with that? Someone made a comment that I was gonna, oh yeah, with Old Woman's comment. But with death, I mean, I had, I'd love to hear your being their story one day, Casper. I hope she stirred the shit out of you. Sorry, but I do. I hope it's a being there in her prime, in her element story. But you don't know the last time you might see somebody. And with all of these friends of mine that I have lost in my life, there's one girlfriend who I bumped into and I was heading back to work and she said, "Hey, have you got time for a coffee?" And I said, "I can't. I've just finished my lunch break. I've got to go back to the office, but let's have a coffee next week." And she died that Sunday. And I will never, ever, ever lose that regret that I didn't just have the quick coffee with Andrea and then get back to work 10 minutes late. I mean, my boss said later, "Oh, you could have had a coffee with her." And it's like, it's easy to say that when you know that they've died. I don't think my boss would have been cool with me being late back from lunch if Andrea was still alive. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, I will always regret that I didn't grab that coffee. But I didn't know she was going to die. She didn't know she was going to die. So yeah, you every moment you get with people, always sign off with "I love you." Tell them how much you love them because you may not get another chance. Um, yeah, Casper, we want to hear your story. Everyone likes a little drama. Drama's one thing. Just being an outright bitch isn't drama, though. That's just being an outright bitch, right? So I've always felt like, especially the people that call themselves the drama community, that's not drama, that's just bitching. It's just a lot of bitching. I agree, Gone Girl. Drama and cruelty are two different things. And Kim Lowry has passed away. And I mean, I'm relieved for her and her husband and her kids that she's no longer in pain. But do you think that that community could have just all wrapped each other in love and those who knew her could be allowed to grieve without people that probably never even spoke to Kim Lowry feeling entitled enough to criticize other people and how they are grieving? Like, fuck off. No one watches, no one from that community watches my channel and they won't watch the replay. But if anyone does and you're one of those assholes, you're a fucking asshole. Dennis Throckmorton. A fabulous name you've got, Dennis Throckmorton. You and your brother can relate. You've lost over. Oh my God, I am so sorry to hear that. You would be heartbroken. Fuck, that's intense. But I love your name, Dennis. Um, you've come from Camp Mel Mel too. No, and I know I didn't know about Andrea, but my point was more that you don't know the last time you're going to see somebody. And yeah, usually when someone dies, there is some regret, but because I've had a lot of death in my life, I learned very early on that living with those regrets is awful. So I make a point of keeping in touch with people, telling them that I love them, not saying no to anything. If they're like, "Hey, do you want to go and do this?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's go," because that could be the last time you see them. And you don't want to be sitting there going, "Fuck, I should have said yes and done that." That was my point. Yeah, type out the tail, Casper. People do use the worst things to hurt people, and it does suck. People suck. Not you people. You people are great. I agree, Kylie. I don't think that they are capable of not being assholes. And yeah, I am usually funny. Thank you, Mel Mel. Hello, Indy. Um, I do think this is the anger part of my grief. The grief's the 6 stages of grief, and I only lost an incredibly close friend yesterday, and then there's a community on YouTube that have just lost a girl as well, who I knew. I didn't know her offline, but we started out bouncing around in YouTube around the same time, and she was, always lovely, and I never had a problem with her, but she's passed away, and now you've got YouTube turning into the bloody grief Olympics and who is and who isn't entitled to grieve. And I just think those people are revolting, and they're probably never going to change. But yeah, I don't know. I tuned into Makeup Mobster's channel thinking I might have been pleasantly surprised, and what a fool I was. Chat's flying. I just want to see if Casper had a start to his tale. In my travels around YouTube, I saw her here and there. When she realised I was a fellow Aussie, she often said to me in chat and my YouTube comments that we should catch up for a coffee together. Oh, I know, because you're both up in Queensland. However, others told me to stay clear of her, but honestly, I didn't know anything about her. I was sad when she passed. Maybe I should have caught her. Look, there you go. There's that regret, but don't feel bad. I mean, and the fact that other people tell you to stay clear, I've always been one of those people my whole life. When someone said to me, that person's horrible or whatever, I've always been like, I make my own decisions about how I feel about people. No one will ever influence how I feel about anyone. And it might be a bit naive because sometimes I have trusted somebody, even though someone has said I shouldn't, and it has bitten me on the bum. But that's also taught me a life lesson, right? So, yeah. Going back even to like the days when we used to share houses when we were uni students, and we'd be looking for a housemate, and then someone else would weigh in and go, oh no, that person's a prick. And it's like, well, you think they are, but we thought they were lovely and we're having them as our next housemate. Why do people on YouTube think that nobody's capable of making up their own minds about shit? Everyone's so busy not everyone, but so many people on there are so busy telling everyone what they should and shouldn't think. It's like, fuck off. It's YouTube. You're not the Dalai Lama or, some fucking wise sage roaming the world changing people's lives. You're a fucking dipshit on a keyboard hiding behind a screen on YouTube. When you're in a chat and there's those subs that you see all the time that just are know-it-alls and tell everyone what they should and shouldn't think and do, I just want to tell them to go fuck themselves. Exactly. It costs nothing to be nice. Yeah, my mum used to say that too, and I used to say that with my ex. Never go to bed on an argument. Same as me, old woman, very practical. I can't keep up with chat. That's really sad, Dennis. I feel so lucky that I was with my mum when she died. And I feel really happy for my friend Scotty that he was the only one with Birdie when she died yesterday. It's a privilege to be there at the end, I think. Yeah, good point by Mel Mel too. She probably wouldn't have been up to it. I drove right by my grandpa's house instead of stopping. I was so tired and he killed himself that day. Always regret. Oh, Morgan, big hugs to you. Although, I don't know if this will make you feel better or not, but most people, when they've made that decision, even if someone does stop in and give them a hug, it doesn't make them change their mind as much as we'd love to think that it would. That's why so many people say when someone that they love ends their life, how the last time, they saw them, they were so happy. It's because they've made that choice and they're happy that their suffering is going to be over soon. But much love to you, gorgeous, because that sort of stuff would torment you, but don't. I mean, it's probably a good thing you didn't stop. You might have stopped right at the same time. Like, there's probably a lot of reasons why you didn't stop. Yeah, exactly. We do what we want. I know, way, but I can't keep up. I'm not used to having 21 people on a Sunday afternoon in my life. I thought everyone would be over at Makeup Mobsters. Wait, I know it all. Fuck, I love you, Morgan. No, I didn't, Mel. Someone asked me to ask if I'm not doing that ever again. The look I got the other day when I did that. No way. Justin Throckmorton, hello. You've got fabulous names. I love Throckmorton. It's fabulous. Well, welcome. I hope you hit the subscribe button. I was not with my mum and my sister couldn't be bothered letting me talk to her before she passed away. Oh, Anne-Marie, I'm sorry to see that. I'm so sorry to read that. That's even worse. Oh, Anne-Marie, big hugs to you too. Exactly. You can't beat yourself up over things you can't change. Throw hearts out. We all need some hearts or some footsteps in the sand, whatever emojis you want. But yeah, very wise words from old woman. Thank you, Justin, for subscribing. But yeah, so for the true crime community or kind of spin-offs of it, there's a bit of everything in that actual community. But for those of you who did come across Kim Lowry in your travels, or being there, can you stop using their deaths as ammunition in your pathetic YouTube wars, because you are despicable human beings. And if somebody's death can't make you be humble and decent and kind, even for 24 hours, there's something fucking wrong with you. If fighting a war on YouTube is more important than just shutting the fuck up and being supportive of people who are hurting right now, your priorities are way out of whack and there's no hope for you. Your mum's been gone. It hurts a lot. My mum's 21-year anniversary is next month and it still feels like yesterday. But also it feels like forever ago, and I get, the longer she's been gone, the grief shifts to all the things that she's missed and the pain of realising all the things that have happened that she would have loved so much. And my dad, it'll be 8 years since he died this year too. Wisdom comes with age, damn it. Look, Mel reckons being there, or knows being there, is hanging around her place and checking her out in the shower. We can send her up to your place, Casper. She can check out you in the shower. Oh, your parents are 80. My mum had only just turned 60 when she died. She was very young. My dad was 74. Thanks, Indy. No, and it's really not our place to try and change them. Good girl, Jojo. You give them a call. Oh, Anne-Marie, far out. Poor little boy. That's terribly sad too. Um, But the thing is, like we're all chatting about all these experiences we've had, and the reality is, if every single human being, even if you never met anyone or spoke to anyone, you're just on your own, you're still going to experience death, your own death. Like we've all got stories. It is part of living, is losing people. But for these fuckwits on YouTube to not just shut up for a day, it just, yeah, it's disappointing. But it's not our place to change people, and I haven't seen a lot of personal growth from a lot of those people on YouTube I joined YouTube in 2018 in about September. I mean, I've had a channel longer than that, but that was when I started discovering all these communities and going live and all of that sort of stuff. And yeah, a lot of those people haven't changed an iota. Some of them have tried to change, and look, kudos to them, but so many of them are just still stuck in this vicious, toxic world, and for some reason it makes them happy to be there. But so disappointing. So disappointing. So never again will I say what will it take for some people on YouTube in those communities to become better people, because the worst has happened, and not once but several times. We've lost people in our community and the shit still goes on. People say that losing someone will get better for you, and knowing what they are saying isn't true. I've found for me it's changed over time, but from what your brother was saying, Justin, like you guys suffered an extreme amount of losses in a very short space of time, and that would certainly be incredibly hard. I think sometimes people say things to be kind and they may not know. I mean, it's quite possible that there's no one else in your lives really that's been through what you've been through. But I'd prefer people to say something stupid or wrong instead of the ones that just disappear and don't contact you and don't say anything at all. They're the ones that I struggle with. And then when you do see them months later, they're like, I just didn't know what to say. It's like, I wish you'd said something really inappropriate or stupid or dumb, then just disappear and not even contact me or let me know that you were thinking of me or anything. That's the ones that are silent that fuck me off, especially when they're really close friends. Mel, can we do a Ouija board for being there? I'm determined to end this live on a positive note, because I'm going to take this food package around to Scotty. But yeah, let's hook up a Ouija board night. Exactly. Just say something. Anything. Even you're probably not up for it right now, but you want to grab a coffee in the next week or two. Or even ring someone and say, I don't know what to say, because even that's better than nothing. And when people say that, you're like, that's cool, I don't either. It's not like you get a dress rehearsal. When my mum died and people were saying, I didn't know what to say, it's like, well, neither did I. I hadn't lost a mum before. Like, this is new to me too. Inappropriate and stupid is the way to go. Exactly. The pain does ease, but it doesn't go away. And that's beautiful, I think. I mean, we should stop being gloomy about grief and death, because the fact that that pain doesn't go away means you're still thinking of that person and they're still with you. I don't want the pain of losing anyone I've loved to go away, because that means I'll stop thinking about them. The pain is the reminder that, and then you have a little, oh, that person's just popped into my head, and you have a little smile for them. I'm still a little bit with Caroline, with Birdie. I'm still a little bit in the I can't believe she's gone phase. But, she'll have her funeral this week, and we'll all get to go through that process, which is such an important part of grieving. which is why all these countries that are so fucked up with COVID at the moment, and hundreds of thousands of people have been buried without funerals or families being able to say goodbye. It's devastating to think that they're forever stuck in that period of grief where you don't get that final goodbye. And it's not a final goodbye. Like, you can still think about those people after the funeral, but it's a huge part of the grieving process. It makes me sad to think about how many people on the planet have missed out on that opportunity to celebrate someone they love's life. It's terrible. We're not doing the Ouija board, okay. Yeah, even silence is better than nothing, but silence with that person. Gone girl, we love you so, so much, beautiful. You know that. Thank you, Jojo. Hi, Ruth. I'm about to sign off. I've got some food I want to take around to Bertie's partner. So at least I know he's got some food in his fridge for when he gets an appetite back. So I'm going to sign off. Mel, thanks for bringing your groovers over. Lovely people. Welcome here anytime. Exactly. Cheers to those we've lost along the way. Their memory will live forever in our hearts. That's beautiful, old woman. We love you, Gone Girl. We love everybody. Thanks to everyone who dropped in. That's been really lovely and unexpected. I thought I'd just do a little drive home from Primrose and pop in to see Scotty. So thank you. And yeah, wrap yourselves in love and let's just keep spreading the love. I'm so grateful for my channel and my beautiful community, and I hope that it's refreshing for you guys too to have a place to come where we're all just, give a shit about each other. Thanks, Easy Money. I'll log off before I drive on the wrong side of the road again. Love you too, Jojo. Thanks, Casper. Bye, old woman. Bye, Morgan. Bye, Mel. Love to all of you gorgeous people. And yeah, bye, Planet Sunshine. Bye, Ruth. Bye, Twiggy. Throw love around out there. It's not going to change some people, but at least we can all look in the mirror at the end of the day and know that we were good people and we just threw some love around. Let's just sprinkle love all over YouTube and look after each other. Peace. Stay groovy, everyone. See you again soon. And thank you. I feel a lot better. Love you heaps. Bye.